Welcome to Epic Ranking. Today, we're diving into the most visually stunning AAA games with realistic graphics that you can play right now. From sprawling open worlds to jaw-dropping character details, these games take visuals to a whole new level. Let's jump in and take a look at the best of the best. When Cyberpunk 2077 was first released, it wasn't without its issues. But with patches and updates, Cyberpunk has transformed into a visual powerhouse. The neon-drenched streets of Night City are incredibly detailed, filled with towering skyscrapers, bustling crowds, and a constant hum of futuristic life. With ray tracing turned on, reflections, shadows, and lighting effects pop in a way that makes the city feel more alive than ever. Whether you're cruising through the streets at night or hacking your way through a corporate compound, Cyberpunk 2077 shows what modern hardware can do. Ubisoft has always been known for crafting huge, open-world environments, and Valhalla is no exception. From the rugged cliffs of Norway to the rolling hills of England, Valhalla's world is bursting with detail. The lighting, weather effects, and textures bring the Viking era to life, whether you're raiding monasteries or quietly traversing through the dense woods. Every environment feels like a postcard-worthy moment, and the realistic portrayal of natural elements like water and fire makes Valhalla one of the best-looking games out there. Metro Exodus brings the bleak, post-apocalyptic world of Russia to life with some of the best environmental detail in the business. Whether you're trudging through snowy wastelands or sneaking through irradiated forests, the game's lighting and particle effects are outstanding. Metro Exodus excels at making you feel the harshness of the world. With detailed textures, lifelike character models, and a dynamic day-night cycle that affects everything from gameplay to the way the world looks. The game's use of lighting, especially in dark, tense areas, adds to its immersive, realistic feel. Naughty Dog always sets the bar high for visuals, and The Last of Us Part 2 pushed the PlayStation 4 hardware to its limits. The post-apocalyptic setting is rich with detail, from the overgrown cityscapes of Seattle to the ruined interiors of homes and buildings. Every character animation is lifelike, and the facial expressions are some of the best in gaming, adding emotional depth to every scene. The game's weather effects and lighting are particularly impressive, giving everything a gritty, realistic texture that makes the world feel oppressively real. While the world of Horizon Forbidden West leans into science fiction, its graphical fidelity is anything but. From dense jungles to barren deserts, the environments are jaw-droppingly beautiful. Every mechanical creature is intricately detailed, and the game's lighting and water effects are nothing short of stunning. The character models and facial animations bring the world's inhabitants to life, making this one of the most visually impressive games on the PlayStation 5. When it comes to realistic, high-octane visuals, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 delivers in spades. From the gritty urban environments to the intense close-quarters combat in abandoned buildings, every frame looks like a scene from an action movie. The lighting is phenomenal, with realistic reflections and shadows that give every firefight a heightened sense of tension. Whether you're sneaking through a night mission or engaging in large-scale battles, the game's realistic textures and effects make it feel more immersive than ever. Even if you're not a fan of racing games, it's impossible to ignore how stunning Forza Horizon 5 looks. The game's recreation of Mexico is filled with diverse environments, from dense jungles and towering volcanoes to open deserts and bustling cities. The attention to detail in the car models is next level, with every reflection, dirt texture, and ray of sunlight captured beautifully. The dynamic weather system is a highlight, especially when you're racing through a thunderstorm or cruising along the beach at sunset. Battlefield 2042 might have had a rocky launch, but when it comes to visuals, the game is undeniably stunning. With massive maps, dynamic weather systems, and destructible environments, Battlefield 2042 brings war to life in a way few games can. The large-scale battles are filled with detailed explosions, realistic lighting, and incredibly lifelike character models. Whether you're fighting through a sandstorm or watching a skyscraper collapse, the level of detail and the chaos on screen make Battlefield 2042 a visual spectacle that's hard to top. Ghost of Tsushima is one of the most breathtaking open-world games ever made. From the golden fields swaying in the wind to the serene beauty of a rain-soaked bamboo forest, the attention to detail is staggering. The lighting effects, in particular, shine in the director's cut, with rays of sunlight piercing through trees and casting realistic shadows. And don't get me started on the color palette. It's like a painting come to life. The world of feudal Japan has never looked this good. Ubisoft's Far Cry series has always been known for its massive open worlds, and Far Cry 6 doesn't disappoint. Set in a fictional Caribbean island, the environments are lush, vibrant, and detailed. The dense jungles, sprawling cities, and stunning beaches are all brought to life with impressive textures, lighting, and weather effects. Fire and explosions look particularly realistic, and when you're setting the world on fire, literally, it's hard not to be in awe of how beautiful chaos can look. Control is a visual masterpiece that combines realistic graphics with surreal environments. The game's brutalist architecture is rendered in painstaking detail, and when reality starts to break down around you, it looks spectacular. The use of ray tracing for lighting, reflections, and shadows creates a visually striking atmosphere that adds to the game's eerie tone. Every object, from floating debris to the glow of otherworldly powers, looks sharp and polished, making Control one of the most visually unique and realistic games you can play. Capcom's Resident Evil Village takes you through a terrifyingly realistic world, from eerie castles to creepy village outskirts. The game's environments are beautifully crafted with photorealistic textures and lighting that add to the horror. The character models, particularly Lady Dimitrescu and her daughters, are rendered with such incredible detail that you can't help but be impressed and terrified. Every environment is dripping with atmosphere, whether you're exploring an abandoned village or navigating a dark, shadowy castle hall. The Demon's Souls remake for the PlayStation 5 is a showcase for next-gen visuals. Every area of the game, from the misty towers to the fiery caverns, looks absolutely stunning. The lighting and shadows add depth and texture to every environment, and the particle effects, especially during boss fights, are nothing short of jaw-dropping. The game's use of realistic textures and detailed character models makes every encounter feel like an epic battle in a dark fantasy world. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding is as much a visual journey as it is a narrative one. The director's cut pushes the graphics even further, with incredibly detailed environments that feel both vast and empty. The landscapes of a fractured world are hauntingly beautiful, from misty mountains to barren fields, all rendered with next-level realism. The character models, aided by top-tier motion capture, look and feel lifelike, giving the game an almost cinematic quality. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just a game, it's a living, breathing world. The level of detail in Rockstar's recreation of the American frontier is staggering. From the swamps of Lemoyne to the snow-covered peaks of the Grizzlies, every inch of the map is meticulously crafted. The lighting and weather effects are especially impressive, with dynamic clouds, thunderstorms, and sunsets that look photorealistic. The characters' facial animations are some of the best in gaming, adding depth to every interaction in this slow-burn masterpiece. Insomniac Games delivered an incredible visual experience with Miles Morales swinging onto the PlayStation 5 with stunning ray tracing and high-fidelity textures. The game's version of New York City feels alive, with snow falling gently on the streets and reflections bouncing off the glass buildings as you swing through the skyline. The character models and animations are incredibly lifelike, making every swing, punch, and venom blast feel impactful and real. If there's a game that nails photorealism, it's Microsoft Flight Simulator. This game brings the entire planet to your screen, rendered with jaw-dropping accuracy. Thanks to satellite data and real-time weather integration, you can fly over cities, mountains, and oceans with a level of detail that's unmatched. Whether you're cruising above the clouds or descending into a bustling cityscape, the lighting, weather effects, and textures make it feel like you're actually piloting a plane. It's one of the most visually impressive games out there, and it's about as close to real-world visuals as you can get. God of War Ragnarok takes the already stunning world of Midgard and turns it up to 11. The character models, especially Kratos and Atreus, are detailed down to the pores on their skin, and the environments, from snow-covered mountains to fiery lava caves, are rich with detail. The game's use of lighting, shadow, and particle effects during combat creates a visual spectacle that's both brutal and beautiful. The Resident Evil 4 remake is a visual masterpiece that modernizes one of the greatest games ever made. The overgrown village, the gloomy castle, and the eerie environments are all brought to life with a level of detail that enhances the horror and tension. The lighting and shadows are particularly impressive, creating a foreboding atmosphere that keeps players on edge throughout. Every creature, from infected villagers to towering bosses, is rendered with terrifying precision. From Software's Elden Ring takes the classic Soulsborne aesthetic and blows it wide open with its vast open world and jaw-dropping vistas. The game's environments are incredibly detailed, from eerie castles to lush forests and decaying ruins. The way light filters through the fog or illuminates a towering boss fight makes Elden Ring feel both haunting and beautiful at every turn. With its richly textured world, stunning lighting effects, and massive sense of scale, it's a visual treat for anyone who dares to explore its deadly world. And that wraps up our countdown of the best-looking AAA games with realistic graphics that you can play right now. Whether you're taking on giant bosses or exploring breathtaking open worlds, these games prove that visuals matter just as much as gameplay. Which game blew you away with its graphics? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more epic rankings. This is Epic Ranking, signing off. Until next time.